Hi, welcome to another live coding session. My name is Shailesh. Go with the username Agent Hunt on GitHub and Agent underscore Hunt on Twitter. So last week we got started with setting up my Mac with all the tools that are needed for React web development, which was and some of my personal preference tools as well. So in this session, I think I'm gonna try to set up Git and put up the project that we created last week on GitHub and set up all the source control stuff. Source control versioning is one of the most important things that we need to do in the beginning from the start of any good project. Um, so let's go ahead and see. Let me see if the app is still running. So the project that I created was test project. So yeah, and npm start. So that should bring up the app which is running. Okay. So last week we also installed Git. I think Git by default comes as part of the Xcode tools. So yeah, let me see. Okay, so let's. So as you can see from the project, right now there is no source control. So Git is one of the source control versioning tools that's available. Probably the most popular source control tool that's used. It has some limitations, especially when it comes to large files. But otherwise, I think it's probably there's no, yeah, 80%, 80-90% of the source code are managed using Git. So the first thing that we do is need to make this project to say Git, as this is a Git repository. So I'm going to go and do a Git init. So, oh, it's reinitializing existing Git repository. I believe when you create React app, probably comes with the default Git repo initializations. Okay, why am I not able to see .git file? Okay, I think I need to set up my Visual Studio Xcode to show.git file directories. Okay. Where is the setting in Visual Studio Code? What I'm trying to do is I want to, by default, Visual Studio Code hides a set of specific folders to be shown in the Explorer here. So I usually like to see .git over here. So that's what I'm trying to enable it. That kind of like forgotten where exactly that is. Oh yeah, so it's over here. I'm going to remove the exclude button, and that, see, I can see the .git folder in my Explorer over here. Um, so when you create a Git init, you usually sets up this .git folder with all the some of the initialization prerequisite that's needed to recognize this particular directory as a Git repository. So the next step would be, let us create a GitHub project to actually host this server, to host this code on the GitHub server. So let me go to GitHub and let me create a new project, a new repository. I might already have created a test project. No, okay. So okay, I don't have any repository that's previously named test proj. Okay, test project, so it's going to be private. I don't want to initialize this repository with readme. I believe there is already a readme over here, so I'm going to go ahead and create repository. So anytime you create a repository in GitHub, it comes to this screen where you have an option to set up a repository completely from scratch, or you could also make an existing repository and you just follow these two commands. So the first command, what it's doing is just like it's adding a remote a remote is how do you say, like a remote server or a remote GitHub server, which this the local project over here is my, it's called on my computer, it's called local, and remote is a name for this particular server, like github.agent on test proj, and that I'm identifying this particular space as with the name origin. And I'm going to do that over here, and then strange. So another thing that Create React App is probably doing is it's already committing when you create React App, uh, when you set up the project using Create React App. So that's why I see this like modified source app. Git status tells you what are the files that have been changed related in reference to the ones that are on your server or from your previous committed changes. Okay. I usually mix and match another tool that I'm comfortable using with Git, which is called as source tree. So before source tree, I believe there wasn't any free Git GUI tools that are available for Mac. I think source tree was bought by Atlassian and it was made free then after. But I usually switch between source tree and command line to do all the Git operations. Okay, let's give this to some time to download. Yeah, so if you wanted to see the commit, the history of changes that has gone into a particular repository, you do a git space log, and then you can see the initial commit from Create React App. So as I said, I think in previous versions of Create React App, it did not set up a Git repository and create a default commit. It changed probably a few versions before. And now, I remember so when I do a git status, it shows which are the files that have been changed. So this modification is in reference to this initial commit. I think we'll have a better visualization when we use the source tree. So let me go ahead and try to install that. It's the first time you open source tree. I think you need to create an account. So let's see. What shall I set it up as? Okay. Did not ask for any account, so I think the previous versions did. But anyways, so once this is done, yeah, there's another thing that I like to do is there is a command line tool that comes with source tree, and that did not get installed. Yeah, I'll just leave it out for now. So I'm gonna drag my Create React App project that I got created and open this through the source tree. And now you can see a much better visualization of things that have changed. And so the initial commit was by default created by Create React App when we created the project. And this is the change that I edited a text last time when by default comes with Learn React, and the change is the text that I changed. Set up Mac for React Web Development. Yeah, let's go ahead and commit this one. So update text. This is not a very useful commit message. It probably, if you're working in a much more bigger project, you would probably want to have much clearer message indicating, summarizing what you changed, preferably with GitHub PR reference, or if you use Jira or another project management tools, maybe a reference to that. But for now, let's put this message. Okay, so now our source code is ready to be pushed to the remote, which is our GitHub project space over here. So did I run this command? Let me check. I might not have. Yeah, I've run this command. So when you run this command, it adds, if you see the git.config file, it adds a remote name, which is called as origin, and the server space for that is the URL over here. And the next thing that we need to do is like git push view origin master, so where you're pushing all the changes that are in your local to this remote repository. And yeah, let's do that. And master is the usually the default branch for any repository. You can choose to create another default if you want to, but generally master is used as a default branch. Okay, it needs my username as well. Okay, so after running this command, you can see that this project is available on GitHub. Yeah, GitHub is just GitHub Git server where you are pushing these changes. You could also choose to push it on another server like GitLab or Bitbucket or any other Git servers. Okay, so what else should we do next? Okay, let me take a short break.